Welcome to this magical love story. At first sight, the girl feels inexplicably attached to the man, and he's astonished. The man truly vanished like a puff of smoke, and the little girl suddenly thought he was so cool, definitely a prince sent by the heavens. From then on, Henry often couldn't resist visiting here. Claire not only prepared clothes for him, but even talked it off with a tasty drumstick. The girl shared her happy and sad moments, while Henry listened patiently, almost like a psychologist. Are you married? Yes. Do you love her? Absolutely. I love her very much. Upon hearing this, the little girl felt her heart sink, realizing her prince had already tied the knot. However, the girl didn't notice that Henry was subtly smiling. It turned out that his childhood wife was so adorable, and Claire accompanied Henry for 12 years until she turned 18, when she again travelled to his side as usual. However, Henry seemed pensive, and Claire sensed his odd behaviour, but he didn't share the reason and inexplicably took the girl's first kiss. For some reason, Claire never saw Henry again until one day 2 years later. Claire happened to find herself in the library and surprisingly spotted Henry again. She rushed forward, emotions bursting forth uncontrollably at this moment, tears welling in her eyes, thinking they would have a passionate reunion. Unexpectedly, Henry seemed not to recognize her, but soon enough he realized. At this moment, Henry appeared much younger. It turned out he wasn't traveling through time, meaning they were indeed meeting for the first time in the same timeline. Mrs. Spout, this is your favorite dish. All right, this is the first time Henry sees himself in this manner. Yet he has already seen himself countless times, though he is confused. It seems unsurprising for Henry to experience this. They arrived at the restaurant as planned. Do you know why I don't remember you? Of course, once you grow up, you'll recall. Claire excitedly told Henry, I've known you since I was 6 because you kept visiting my childhood, and I wrote it in my diary every time. You've been there for major events. Where am I from? I'm just a little boy. So we finally meet. At this point, Claire couldn't help but touch Henry's cheek, as if she were caressing a long-lost lover. Can we pretend for a moment? This is our first meeting. All right, I've always loved you. As time passed, their feelings rapidly escalated, and they completely fell in love. Thus, Henry invited Claire to his home for the first time. This night was destined to be warm and romantic, and later he prepared to propose to Claire, pulling out a ring he had long prepared. However, due to his special situation and uncertainties, he hesitated to promise her happiness. But he truly didn't want to miss out on Claire, who made his heart flutter, so he decisively placed the ring on her finger. When she saw the ring, Claire suddenly realized that the person Henry loved most in his childhood was always herself. Are we getting married? Yes, of course. Henry wanted to share his happiness with his late mother, so he travelled back in time to her train. He sat beside someone incredibly familiar, the other significant person in his life. At this moment, tears welled in his eyes, and love spilled out of him. I love you, and I mean your job. He sang. Thank you so much. People usually don't recognize me. My name is Henry. Ironically, my son is also named Henry, but he's only 3. I met a girl, and I feel safe with her. I hope she can hear you sing. Maybe she will, huh? I'm really glad to meet you. I'm glad to meet you too. Just make sure that girl knows how you feel about her, alright? Your voice makes me love you even more. I know, having granted her the power to travel through time, but it couldn't change the outcomes of the past and future. She could only reluctantly watch her mother fade away, and soon it was their wedding day, with Claire ready and made up, waiting to marry the love of her life. However, good things often face obstacles, and just as the wedding was about to begin, Henry inopportunely disappeared. Oh no! Seeing the wedding about to start, the friends hurriedly made excuses to delay. Surprisingly, older Henry travelled back just in time. Where from? You're like my dad. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Alright, she quickly changed into her dress. Good thing she didn't miss it. But when she turned around, Claire noticed something was off, yet she didn't find it odd because she had always been herself. That incredibly familiar self, just like that. They made their vows in front of the priest. However, during the wedding banquet, Henry disappeared again at the worst time. He vanished from his seat. Just when it seemed Henry would miss out, unexpectedly, young Henry returned at the last moment. After all the twists and turns, the two finally stepped into the aisle of marriage, and they started an incredible happy life together. They would snuggle up to read and cook romantic dinners. However, the next second, Henry suddenly poofed away, leaving Claire to clean up the mess by herself and enjoy a solo candlelight dinner. No one tried them the clothes bought. Their wedding, yet Claire often found herself alone, facing the household chores, even though she knew most of Henry's time was spent with her younger self. But Henry not only vanished for 2 weeks this time, but also missed the Christmas and New Year's reunion, which was hard for Claire to swallow.